everyone, my name is Amber. Welcome back to my channel. This is my post-birthday book haul, and possibly pre-Christmas. So I went a bit wild for my birthday. I got a bunch of presents from friends, which I appreciate, love, amazing. But I also thought because I was turning 30 that I would treat myself. And now I have 3 different piles of books everywhere because I just couldn't stop buying them. I found so many good deals from books on my wish list, 4 books on my wish list. I went charity book shopping. I found some books that I was meant to put on my wish list but didn't, and so they weren't official wish list books, but they are ones that I wanted. So I have a lot of books here, and I am honestly ashamed at where my TBR has ended up. I'm not going to give you numbers in this video because I don't really want to. If you're watching mine and Justine's live streams where we're doing reading sprints to reduce our TBR, I do give updates there whenever there's a new stream of what my TBR currently is, and I will be doing a zero TBR video at the beginning of January, I think, to tell you how I'm tackling this problem. But right now it's not looking good. I'm ashamed. So let me just go ahead and we might as well get started. I don't even know how many books I've got here. Let me just quickly do a count. I've got 35 books, including 3 from the library. So yeah, I have a problem. This is horrendous. This is the worst book haul I've ever done. Let me show you what's happening. I'm going to start off with the library books just because I've got them right here and they're about to fall off the radiator. So first of all, I have Hanny and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating. Apologies for the glare, I'm right by the window. This is a YA contemporary book. I think these two don't like each other or don't know each other. They go to school together and they have to fake dates. I cannot wait to read this one. It sounds so cute, and I'm just really surprised that my library had it, to be honest. My library system isn't the best. It's not the worst, but it's not the best because the Tories keep cutting funding, so we don't always get the newest releases. I also picked up Ink and Bone by Rachel Kane. This is the first book in the Something Library series, The Great Library. Rachel Kane is one of my favourite authors. She wrote a thriller book series called Stillhouse Lake, which I loved, and I also really enjoyed the Morganville Vampire series when I read them when I was younger. Rachel Kane did pass away a couple of years ago, which was so sad. She was really quite young, but there are still a lot of books of hers that I would like to read, so at least I have those to kind of remember her by, I guess. I'm talking as though I know her or knew her, but I didn't. But you know what I mean? You're readers, so you probably know what I mean. I don't actually know what this series is about. And then I also picked up The Quiet at the End of the World by Lauren James. Lauren James is really getting into cli-fi lately. I've signed up to her cli-fi newsletter as well. I would highly recommend it if you haven't heard of it or haven't done so already. Cli-fi is climate fiction, and this book is about a world in which a virus has caused infertility, I think, and these two are like the youngest people on Earth. So not really cli-fi, but like viruses such as that and COVID are, you know, it's all tied in. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. Again, really impressed that my library system had it. So those are my library books, and now let's get into all of the books that I bought or received from my lovely friends. So starting off with one that I have already read and I spoke about in my November wrap up, I got I'm Thinking of Ending Things. This is the movie tie-in cover. I really don't like it, but I couldn't find a cheap copy of the original cover. I've read this one. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's going to be for everyone. I think some people are going to hate it, particularly for the twist. If you don't like tropey endings, or if you're picky about your thriller twists because there's a certain trope that comes up again and again, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if that's the case, then I would recommend looking up the spoilers for this one and deciding whether you want to read it, or at least look up the twist and trigger warnings, because yeah, you're probably not going to love it. But I really enjoyed it. I think it's a good one for discussions, and I think everyone is going to read this and come out with something different, so that's really interesting. This, very briefly, is about a woman who's on a road trip to her new boyfriend's parents' farmhouse, and she's been with him for 6 weeks. She's never met the parents before, but she's already thinking about breaking up with him because the relationship isn't going as she had hoped, and she's not really feeling the connection there, and it's all very much in her own head, and it starts to feel a bit weird right at the start, and then it gets weirder and weirder. I picked up The Hunting Wives because I got this one for like £3.50 or something. No idea what this one's about because it's a thriller, and I don't read synopses for thrillers, but it's been on my wish list for ages and it dropped in price. The tagline is, how far would you go to fit in? So I think this is like rich people drama, which I love. I picked up Notes on an Execution. I bought this one for myself as well. This one has been on my wish list for the past few months since it came out because it just sounds so good. So this is about a guy who is on death row. He is set to be executed, and I think instead of being focused on him, it's focused on the lives that he has impacted, or that the event has impacted. At least that's how I understand it, and they're all discussing what exactly happened. I think this one sounds really good. I think I'm actually going to love it, so I'm going to read this one in December and ignore the rest of my TBR because it sounds really good. My lovely friend Nikki gave me Delilah Green Doesn't Care. Ashley Herring Blake. Oh my god, I can't speak today. This author wrote one of my all-time favourite books called Girl Made of Stars, and this I think was her first adult romance book, and it's between two women, which I love. I want to read all of her books at some point because I think she's having only read one book by her, I think she's an incredible author, and I'm really excited to read this one. Again, this one I want to read in December because I'm just in the mood for it, and I figure I might as well read books when I'm excited for them. So I'm ignoring the rest of my TBR and picking this one up. No idea what this one's about. Something about a wedding. Oh, this would be so cool if I were to do like a wedding reading vlog or something, but I don't want to wait that long. So I'm gonna read this in December. One that I bought myself is Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. This is a historical fiction generational story. I believe it's set in Korea in 1910, early 1900s Korea. I don't know loads about it. I think there's a film or a TV show or something, and I love generational stories, and I think this one is going to have a lot of generational trauma. It's talking about Korea's relationship with Japan, or Japan's relationship with Korea, because I think the Korean family moved to Japan through the generations, and it just sounds really, really good. It's really chunky, so I'm not going to pick it up this month, but when I do pick it up, hopefully soon, I think it's going to be one that I do love. I also got a pre-order called Ocean's Echo. I got this one from NetGalley as well, but I wanted it in physical format because of my ebook reading slump, and also I love this author. I read Winter's Orbit by them and loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and I cannot wait to read this one. I've been putting it off because I wanted the physical book, and then it arrived when I was in Iceland, so I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I do really want to, possibly this month. I really should read it in December, but it's chunky and I've already set my December TBR. I really should have waited or done this book haul first, like reignite my feelings about all of these books. But yeah, I don't know, I love the sound of this one as well. It's space opera, sci-fi, about two guys. I don't really know what the actual plot is, but if it's anything like the last one, it's going to be like a really exciting plot with also a really exciting or cute romance. It's going to be really wholesome, I think, is how I'm feeling about this. I also picked up Tokyo Ever After, and I got this note from Robin Reads in it, but I don't think she got me this book. I bought this one for myself. I'm like 99% sure, but my own note is confusing me. So this is one that I'm currently reading. Sorry, you can't really see the cover. It's YA contemporary about a girl who finds out that she is a princess of Japan. She actually grew up in America and she didn't know her dad, and then she finds out that he is the emperor's son. So she goes over there and starts learning about her father and about her family that she never knew. It is a lot like The Princess Diaries, and it's cute. It's super cute. It moves really, really quickly. It moved a lot faster than I thought it would, but I'm okay with that. I'm really enjoying it and I can't wait to finish it. I'm going to finish it today. And then one book that I did actually get from Robin, I don't know where the other one is. There are two of them, and the other one's in these piles somewhere. I got Gleanings, which is by Neil Schusterman. This is the short story collection from Arc of a Scythe. And what I didn't know, because the publisher isn't really publicising it or talking about it, is that this is written by a bunch of different people. Neil Schusterman has only written a few of the stories in this anthology, and other people such as I think his son and his wife, people with the same surname as him, have contributed, which is fine. It's just it doesn't say that anywhere, and I find it very strange that they're not marketing it that way and they're pretending this whole thing is by Neil Schusterman, because what that meant is I was reading these stories, I was like, these don't really feel like his style, because I've read a lot of his books, not just the Scythe trilogy, and I was like, this doesn't really feel like him, like it feels really off. Did he rush this? And I realised that they're written by different people. He does give credit, to be fair, you just can't tell from looking at the book. You could just tell that it wasn't by the author of the Scythe trilogy. Really enjoyed this one overall, but there were just too many stories not by Neil Schusterman, in my opinion. But thank you, Robin, for getting it for me. It's going to look so good on my shelf with my Scythe collection. Let's move over to this pile now, I think, even though there's still more of the other one to go. I went to the charity shop and picked up quite a few books. I didn't realise how many. They had a sale where they were like half price or something, so I picked up quite a lot. And my charity shops, people around my neighbourhood read some really good books. I'm really, really impressed. The first book that I picked up is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I read this when I was a lot younger, and I don't remember liking it, but I don't think I really understood because I was quite young, and I found it in the charity shop for 50p, and this is an edition that I do actually quite like. Other editions are kind of ugly, but yeah, I'll be reading that soonish. I also found the Echo Wife, and this is the US edition, I believe, or international edition. I don't know if that means it's US. I'm sure our cover in the UK is different, but I keep finding US editions of things in my charity shop, and someone must be ordering them. Where are they coming from? I don't know. So I don't know anything about this one, but I know that it's sci-fi, I think, and possibly like a domestic thriller type deal. So looking forward to reading this one as well. It's very short, so it shouldn't take me long to read. I also picked up Fireborn because it's a fantasy book that I've had my eye on for ages, and I'm always looking for fantasy series to start, even though I never actually start them. I like the idea of getting sucked into fantasy series and then binge reading them, and then not actually doing it, but it's not my fault, it's the vibe. No idea what it's about other than dragons, and I love this cover, and I really hope I do love this trilogy because I've heard so many good things about it. I feel like it's very, very underrated. I'm trying to slowly reduce all the piles at the same time so they're not so intimidating. I also need to get back to work in like 10 minutes, so I need to hurry up. We have Breathless by Amy McCulloch, who is actually the ghostwriter for Zoella, the vlogger. This is a thriller, survival thriller set in the mountains, which is something that I'm really enjoying at the moment. So I'm probably going to read this one in December as well because I'm really excited for it. I bought this one for myself because it was like £3.50, and I just really want this to be like a really atmospheric book, like One by One by Ruth Ware and the other survival thrillers that I've been reading. I think there's also possibly a killer as well, so it's not just survival, but because they're on the mountain and have crashed up there, or they've like, I don't know, they're stuck up in the mountain, I think. So yeah, they have to survive. I'm really looking forward to it. I also bought myself Migrations because my friend Angela talks about this one a lot. Again, it's a very short one, so it shouldn't take long to read, and it's one that I might read in a reading vlog where I read my birthday books because I have a lot of birthday books to read. This is Cli-Fi. Don't know much about it. I think the main character is going up to the Arctic to look for birds who I think are becoming extinct. I don't really know much else, but I don't need to. It sounds like something that I will love. I also picked up a really old school book that I found on eBay, and I'm really pleased that I found it actually. I got Do Not Disturb. This is an erotic thriller by A.R. Torre, who is becoming a very popular author at the moment because she has a lot of Kindle Unlimited books out. But I read the first book in this trilogy, The Girl in 6E. I don't think it's going to focus because that's really annoying, but that's the cover. It's basically about a cam girl who gets involved in a murder and has to try to solve it. I really, really enjoyed the first one when I read it like, I don't know, 7 years ago or something ridiculous. So I found this on eBay and just thought I'd pick it up and see if I still enjoy it. The main character also is really, not horrible, but like she has urges to kill. So I think that's a really cool twist for a main character to have in a thriller, I think, when she's not the one doing the killing. I don't know. Looking forward to reading this one soonish. I also picked up I Am Still Alive by Kate Alice Marshall because I want to do a project on reading all of her books. This was her debut, and I think this is about someone trying to stay alive in the wilderness. So again, a survival thriller type deal. I read Rules for Vanishing by her and I loved it, and I've read her book that she released after that, just after, and it was good. And then there are 3 other books of hers that I need to read, this being one of them. So yeah, I'm gonna read those, I think, in February. I'm gonna try to. That does mean that I need to buy more books by her, but that's fine, it's okay. I also picked up Monstrous, which is a graphic novel series. No idea what this is about, but I really like the artwork. I just scared myself. I just gave myself a jump scare from a freaking from a graphic novel. Oh my god, I need to calm down. No idea what this one's about, but everyone seems to love it, and I really want a new graphic novel series to get into, and maybe it's gonna be really freaking creepy because it looks creepy. What else do we have? I picked up The Library at Mount Char. I know nothing about this one because I've been told not to read up on it. I have no idea. It's longer than I thought it would be. It's some sort of horror thriller from what I understand, but I know absolutely nothing, so I can't tell you anything other than people tell you not to know anything before going into it. I don't know. What are we doing? More charity shop books, I think. I got The Lost Apothecary. No idea what this one's about. I've just seen it everywhere, and people were giving it like a really high rating right at the start of the year, and then people started giving it like 2 stars, saying it was really overrated, but I found it in the charity shop for £1, so I thought I would pick it up. I picked up When I Was 10. This one is again one that I got for like 50p or something, and I think again this is about like a rich family and something thrilling or terrible happening to them. So rich people drama in thriller format, which I love. I got I Must Betray You by Ruth Sepetys. This is another one that I had on from NetGalley, and then I pre-ordered it from Waterstones, then it never arrived, so I cancelled my pre-order and just bought it from Amazon instead. I love Ruth Sepetys' writing. I typically like her World War II fiction. This one is actually set after World War II, I think in like Romania. This synopsis on the back is really, really like vague, and it also doesn't even mention that it's historical, which it is. So that's a bit frustrating. It makes it sound more like a thriller. So I guess it's like a historical thriller. I'm gonna wait to criticize until I've actually read the book and I know what it is actually about, but yeah. Needs some work maybe. I also picked up Of Women and Salt because this is one that I've been meaning to read for ages, and it's really, really short. I didn't expect it to be so tiny. So this is another one I can probably read for the vlog where I read my birthday books. It's 200 pages. So this is about a main character, I think it goes back and forth. One main character lives in Cuba in the 1800s, and then the other main character lives in Florida in the 1900s or early 2000s, I think. And again, I think it's like a generational sort of deal where you see how history affected the entire family. Really looking forward to reading this one. I've had my eye on it for the longest time and I'm so glad that I finally picked it up. I bought myself The Blood Trials because I've been seeing this one everywhere. Some people haven't really enjoyed it, some people from my friendship group, but I don't know what it's about. I don't know why they didn't enjoy it, but I just love the cover and the title, and the sequel is coming out next year, so I need to read this soon so I can recap it. My lovely friend Ceri bought me Plain Bad Heroines because this was a Space Sirens book club pick, and I wasn't going to be around for it, for the live show, because I was in Iceland and it was our birthdays and it was too much. So I didn't bother buying it for myself, but then she bought it for me for my birthday, which I love. This is one of her favourite books and I am convinced I'm going to enjoy this one. It's like gothic-y humour, perhaps a bit of a thriller horror situation as well. I'm not entirely sure, but I love this cover. It's chunky, but I think it's going to read quite quickly. I need to hurry up because my memory card is going to run out. So I also picked up Betty for 50p from the charity shop. No idea what this one's about. Something about history. I think it's historical, but I can't tell you for sure. I don't know. I was having a really bad day and I just picked it up. Same goes for this one. This is Haven't They Grown by Sophie Hannah, which is a domestic thriller book. I think the main character in this one has 2 children and they don't seem to grow up. So it's probably like a mental health thing, I'm not sure, but we'll see how that goes. And then I picked up Captain Corelli's Mandolin, which is one that has been on so many best books ever lists. And I've been meaning to read this since I was younger, but I am glad that I've waited until now to pick it up because I don't think I'd have understood it when I was younger. And I have to say, this font is it's dense and I don't really like that, but this is one that I've been meaning to read for years. I don't really know what it's about. I think it's set during World War II in either Greece or Cyprus, and that's about all I know about it, which is fine. My camera battery ran out. Oh my god, I need to hurry up. Yeah, looking forward to reading this one. Don't really know what else to say about it. I also picked up Empire of Pain from the charity shop. This is about the Sackler dynasty. Don't really know loads about it. This is probably one that I'll probably also listen to as an audiobook, but it's one that I've heard really, really good things about, so I'm glad that I found it for £1 in the charity shop. My friend Kayla also bought me a book for my birthday, and that is See You Yesterday by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I'm going to do a project on her books next year as well, where I try to read all of her books and decide which one is best, but she has written a lot of books. So I need some time to be able to do that. This is some sort of contemporary book. I think it's a new adult because I think the main character is in college and I don't really know much else about it, but that's fine. I don't need to know loads about the books that I'm reading. I'm really, really looking forward to reading this one. I'm so tempted to start it soon, but then if I started it soon, then I'd be doing a vlog where I'm reading all of her books for like months because I can't get all of her books in one go. So I don't know, should the vlog span months? Would you guys mind if I spoke about like each book individually in different wrap-ups and then again in one final vlog? I don't really know what's best. I think reading them all in 1 month as well though would be a bit outrageous, so maybe that way is best. Maybe I should just pick it up now. I also picked up Unburied Carol by Josh Malerman. I'm tempted to do a similar project with his books as well. I've only read a couple of his books actually. I've read Bird Box and Mallory and I think that's it. So maybe he's a good author for me to try to discover. I don't know. I'll think about it. Let me know if that's something that you would be interested in. I also picked up Natives for 50p. This is about race and class in the ruins of empire, meaning the British Empire. It's non-fiction. Again, I might pick up the audiobook to read at the same time. And then the other book that my friend Robin got for me, I will leave all of these people's channels down below, by the way, in the description, is Leech, which is a brand new horror book, which sounds amazing. I know nothing about it other than it's about like parasite and I think it's killing people, which sounds amazing. I'm so looking forward to reading this one. It kind of like shot up in popularity all of a sudden. And like I said, I cannot wait to read it. Thank you so much to Robin for getting this for me because it was not cheap. And again, this, because it's short, might be one that I read for the birthday books reading vlog, if this is something you'll be interested in hearing me talk about. I also have one book that hasn't arrived yet, and that is Walk on Earth, a Stranger. I cannot be bothered to save it for my next book haul because I don't know when that's going to be after this. I'm putting myself on a book buying ban for a bit. So yeah, that one will appear in my TBR videos at some point. And then finally, the last book that I bought for myself is The Empire of Gold. And yes, I have already read this book. Yes, I do already have the UK edition, but I really wanted this US edition because I think it's cute. It also came with a signed book plate and some character cards, which I'm not going to get out to show you, but oh my god, they're stunning. Basically, I just want to collect the US editions as well because this is my favourite book series and I want a collection. So that's what I'm doing. I'm creating a City of brass shelf on my bookshelf because I'm 30 and I can do what I want. So that was my huge book haul. Thank you so much if you stuck around to the end. Let me know if you think I should prioritize any of these. I'm so excited for literally all of them. Expect to see them in some wrap-ups coming up very soon. I'm going to read at least some of them in December because I'm hyped, and now is the time to read them because I don't want to lose motivation or enthusiasm for them. Let me know if you've read any of these in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Bye.